Hello, my name is Fiskluggers, and today we'll be looking at two of the new maps that were introduced in the latest patch. Because, let's just say I haven't ever won a single one of these matches, and I like to think it's not too much of my own fault, because these maps are a bit different in the sense that these maps require quite much more team effort and just, planning and playing to the objective. And I feel like that's a really good thing. These maps are good, maybe a bit challenging at first when you don't know what's up. Now, unfortunately, I will be driving a self-propelled gun for these maps. But, here we go. We start from over here, obviously, and we need to get to here, which is the first objective. We need to defend the dam from enemy attacks. And very often, I feel like the team just starts to camp here, or here. And the AI spawn all the way here and here as well. So while here our enemies just destroying the dam, we never spot them. So what the team has to do is to move forward, like we're starting to do right now. Of course, I'm an artillery, so I have to kinda stay here, which is a little bit of a dumb thing for this map, because you can't really go here, at least at the very beginning of the game, because you will be destroyed. Now the team is starting to move forward, but the dam is already starting to take some damage, and it doesn't have too much health. And the interesting thing is that since the AI artillery will be spawning here, they can very rapidly destroy the dam all by themselves. And the AFVs and the MBTs will ridiculously help them in their task. But as long as the team goes in and gives the AI something to shoot at in addition to the dam, you're generally pretty okay. So this team is actually doing reasonably well in that regard. Of course, this map not being the best for artillery, but at least this first stage of the game, or the map, is not that bad. You can pretty easily lob shells here and on the top of this small hill. Let's just fast forward a little bit when we get to destroy all of the rest of this AI, since our team is going pretty ham on here, so there's nothing going wrong right now. And there we go. So the next objective is very, very close by, and it's pretty much just defend the crab circle, which is nothing new nor hard. Oh, well, the thing that I failed to mention is the secondary objective, and I do like when they give a ridiculous amount of time to do it, instead of 3-4 minutes, which just makes it that someone or some people are just going to rush it, and the AI spawns will quite often wreck them. So even though the objectives are really scattered around this relatively big map, it's not that big of a deal. And I feel that's a really good thing about this map. Damn phone. So anyway, the AIs are pretty much spawning right here and starts to engage the cap circle. While you can have pretty decent locations right over here behind these ridges and so forth. It pretty much helps to have an artillery in this map, because over here will spawn some AI artillery, and they'll be quite tricky to deal with if you don't have any artillery of your own on the team. But anyways, this stage of the map pretty simple. as long as you don't travel off here with the secondary objectives too much. Maybe have one a bit faster moving vehicle and the team will be fine, because the rest of the team will be easily able to defend the cap circle. And now we can speed this up a bit, since there's nothing too major going on. And something that I noticed is that it's quite hard for an artillery to engage here because of these buildings and because of this ridge over here. And also this ridge prevents you from shooting here quite effectively. So then we have the final objective. These two nuclear power plant, I don't know what they're really called, turbines, I don't know, reactor pipes, whatever. If you're driving a main battle tank or some tank with a really good frontal armor, it's not that bad, because you can just, park right next to these buildings or park your ass next to these hills or whatever. You can have quite strong positions. However, artillery, you kinda, after learning the map, you could move here or maybe here, because the AI is gonna spawn pretty much here. But the problem still is, these things are ginormous. It's really hard to, from all the way here, to shoot here. And you can't go here, you'll be annihilated. So artillery is quite useless at this stage of the game. You really can only shoot people who are here. Because even here, there's a building. Here, there's a building. Here, there's a hill. It's really hard to do well at this stage of the game with an artillery. And, these two guys are doing the best they can, but yeah, they have pretty horrendous armor, and the AIs are quite numerous. I did my best to deal with the AI artillery and make a shot or two at people who are right here. They're going on with another artillery, but you can see that the AI is quite numerous and they do not take too long to destroy one of the objectives. These two guys, the VFM-5, not too sure of the Centauro, but the VFM did really dunk this game pretty early on and didn't do quite a lot good for the team. And I think this is one of these maps that you really have to, stay on the objective and just try to manage to be alive. If you can be here without taking damage on the first objective, but still keeping the AI busy, you'll be pretty strong. And the dam shouldn't fall. Likewise in here, it's not too essential to be right on the objective, but maybe try to find strong locations where you can be hulled down and so forth. It takes quite a while for the enemies to capture the circle, but here you really need to be on the heat of the action and hopefully have some armor to work around with the multiple enemies coming from multiple directions. And obviously we had only 2 vehicles in there, and because I was the artillery, no reason to go there. So that's another defeat for me. Yeah, it just, you saw that this team had a vague idea about this map, and that's why I made this video, because I think this is the best effort I have seen from a single team, and it's just a bit depressing. Anyway, that map is something that people will start to learn, and are starting to learn. Most of the new maps tend to be a little bit harsh for the first try, but then we have the second new map, and I was the artillery again because I wanted to get that daily bonus for artillery, and all of my missions were artillery based, which is a bit annoying because I do not enjoy artillery too much in armored warfare. Here we have quite interesting situation where the map is actually one of the oldest ones, but in the eyes of PVE content it's the newest one, which is quite interesting to me. But anyways, this map, well, as you can see, or probably have witnessed playing PvP, it's not the best when it comes to artillery, or indeed to some degree tank destroyers. I think it favors quite much AFVs and MBTs. AFVs simply because they are so blisteringly fast, and MBTs because you can have actually quite close engagements. So anyways, as I was playing the artillery, you start here. Obviously you can't really shoot here, or nor anywhere here. So I personally started to head here, so that I could have more engagement over here. But it's still quite tricky. The first objective is to defend this area, so nothing majorly new here, objective-wise. But I feel like it's okay way to start. And it's interesting so that it's very close. You pretty much start here and the objective is here. And again, we have the secondary objectives being 4 helicopters scattered around the map, which helps to have a VBL or some other fast-moving vehicle to take care of them. And have your main battle tanks take the brunt force of the enemy. Now we can speed things up a bit because there's nothing interesting going on at the moment, just people coming from this direction to the cap circle.
Great job, Blackjump.
Yeah, so the majority of the AI are coming from here and a little bit coming from here. And now we go on to the very interesting part. We have 2 objectives right in the middle. So you start here, this first objective was here. So it's quite near this second. The second objective is quite near. So they're both here at the same time with very generous time, which is interesting in and of itself. But one is blue circle, one is red. Power up, generator, defend, calm tower. Now, I think that the defend, the calm tower is this one, because there's this whatever tower. Or that. Or that. I don't know. But anyways, so this is the generator. How exactly do you power this up? No idea. Probably need to go here to capture it. I don't know. But anyways, here's some artillery, and majority of the AI will be coming from this direction to here. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the match, is that the artillery is having very limited amount of opportunities here. Here I'm engaging another artillery piece, but other than that, you can go here and have here quite effective shots, but it is very long range, so hitting stuff, you know, flush is quite hard. Splashing enemies, pretty easy. But anyways, so our team is majorly here and starting to spot some enemies over here. And the chieftain is having the right idea that I think we need to get over here. But as we can see, here's like C1 Ariete and stuff like that, which are quite big targets for a tier 5 main battle tank. So these guys, I don't really know, are they familiar with this map, but I feel like they think they have to cap this, or maybe they didn't realize that we probably need to get here and cap this, because I'm quite sure we need to defend this one. And we need to capture that one. But it's not too bad. There's not too many enemies. Only a couple at the time. The chieftain is pretty low on... Well, actually he's doing pretty well health-wise, but this... Well, this main battle tank could go a little bit more ham. I don't know where he's going, but maybe he's just taking a better cover. Anyway, we're doing reasonably well. And I'm really... Yeah, this capture is this one, because the minute the chieftain got hit, it got reset. And it's not too long cap. But I don't know what the fuck happened, but that was a loss. I don't have any clue why. It could be so stupid that we killed the last enemy, but we did not capture the circle. I don't know if it's that, because we had around 8 minutes remaining in the game. I don't know if that's a glitch. Probably is. But it's still incredibly bizarre. I have no idea what wow, what? Why? Should we just go on and capture the circle, like, you know, really aggressively? Because it's really odd that we have to defend over here, but at the same time you have to capture this. It would make far more sense, since the enemies are coming from here, that this would be reversed. Like, if you would have to capture this, and it would have quite long capture time. So let's say it would take like nearly 2 minutes for a single main battle tank to capture it. So you would have to have it like a team effort. And you would have to defend this one. So it would kind of force you to, you know, balance between, do I want to defend or attack? But, you know, even this works, but it makes it really fucking odd if you have to capture this before you kill all the enemies. I could be wrong here, but that's the only explanation that I can get, that we just suddenly lost. And, well, we can speed it up a bit, but to get right into the end. But we can see it's really close. Around where the timer hits like around here, we lose. And the enemy are not capping this one. There's no enemy capturing whatever, because they need to capture this one. And we need to capture this one. But why do we lose if we don't cap it? It's gotta be a glitch. It's just... my mind cannot really comprehend this. And if you've been wondering why I haven't had too much of a content recently uploaded, there's 2 reasons. Oh, actually 3. First off, I'm a lazy bastard. Second of all, I'm actually quite busy. And the third is that, yeah, I kinda had a bit of a break from the game because of stuff like this. It's a fun game, but you know, it can really sometimes just piss on your cereals and be like, why you do this? Why you do this to me? But to praise the game a little bit, even though it has some glitches and some problems, it's a really solid game, and I really do enjoy it. And the direction they have been going with these missions are really good, really good. The problem I had, for instance, in World of Tanks is that it's really the one game mode. Well, you can say that, yeah, well, there's the encounter game mode and assault game mode, but yeah, it's still like capture the circle, defend the circle, kill all the enemies. Here we have actually some kind of so-called quote-unquote progression in mission, so that it's not just defend this circle, then defend this circle, capture that circle. There's actually like, don't let this thing be destroyed, or, you know, the secondary objectives and stuff that can vary. I can't remember the map, but the relatively new winter map, can I find it? It's not that one? No? Anyway, I seem to not have any replays from that map, but the one with the one winter map where's this airstrip right in the middle of it. It varies the objectives. Sometimes you have to close the hangar doors. Sometimes you have to destroy these outposts and stuff like that. I think that gives some variety, and it's not the same grind every single time. It's refreshing. And even though if you don't have like varying objectives in a single map, it's a good thing to have a map pool of different kind of objectives. Not so that it's, a different location, same objective every single time. It gets old, especially when you start to get to tier 8 and 9, when it's like, well, you gotta get like 15 million credits or 8 million credits to get to the new vehicle. And when you have to grind hundreds of thousands of reputation points, it gets old really fast. And the problem as of now, which they are fixing, is that I'm getting full crew. Well, not quite yet, but I'm very close to getting the maxed out crew. Even though my tank isn't really being fully unlocked or researched or renowned, whatever you want to call it. And so there's very little longevity for the vehicles after you grinded them through, unless you wanna have it battle hardened and just grind credits. It's really like, well, I'm gonna make still more credits with some premium vehicles, so but I don't know, it's a bit nitpicking, and they're coming with an overhaul of the crew and commander system, so we'll have to see what that brings. But as of now, I think this system is still a bit better than what we have in World of Tanks, which is just like I can't even speak. Play 500 games in a single vehicle and you might get 3 or 4 crew skills, and there's someone with 7. Now, good luck grinding your first one. It makes the game so, I wouldn't say so unbalanced, but it gives quite unfair feeling. Because, these skills you can get quite casually playing, and you don't have to dump hundreds of hours to a single vehicle, which is dumb, in my opinion. but this is not too in depth. I would hope that they would add something, something to reward you for grinding a vehicle that is fully unlocked. You haven't everything. Maybe you would get a boost to your, what is it, global reputation or credit boost, or so there's some reason to drive the vehicle you already have no reason to play. Or maybe have some kind of camos or something. Maybe you could get some unique decals or camo patterns, something, just by grinding it through. It would make it really cool, because in the World of Tanks, even if you don't count the crew skills or whatever, you can still have the marks of excellence on your barrel. Something to, nothing huge, and it doesn't make you any better, statistically, but it's just those small details. And I know, it's still quite early on the beta, and they will probably address these kind of things, but I feel like it's really good thing to mention, just, as a reminder. Maybe they don't need a reminder, but I feel better for saying it. So yeah. So in summary, these two maps, they're great. I really feel like they're good maps, and it's mostly just the community that still has to adapt to these maps. And I feel like these maps are going in the right direction. The first maps were quite, restricted and so on, and these maps are trying to do more varying objectives, and mostly what I feel like is really good is the fact that the AI spawns seem to be a little bit better. I still feel like they should have it so that the AIs wouldn't spawn on playable area, so that you couldn't accidentally bump into an enemy. I mean, so that, they spawn on top of you or a couple of meters from you. But they're making more effort so that wouldn't happen. Making they are making the AI's approaches more, I don't know, natural, or I don't know. But these two maps did feel like, they did feel like more that they are actually coming from somewhere and not just spawning right next to something. In the desert map, where you have to kill these lieutenant vehicles that are more buffed versions of existing AI tanks, but yeah, the idea is really cool that you have to hunt down these, I think it was 3 bigger vehicles, and there's of course the side objectives and so on, but that's really cool. And I feel like they could do it reverse, so that there's a bigger objective or something. The main objective would be something different, and the secondary objective would be defeat all the lieutenants. That would also be really cool. So it would be so that you don't have to go on and hunt these buff enemies, but if you do, you will get rewarded for that. But anyways, this video is long enough already. Thank you so much for watching. Do share your thoughts about these new maps and, in general, where these maps are going. Do you think they are good, and what would be good objectives in the future that they haven't already implemented? So thank you once again, and I hope I'll see you in the next video.